My name is Reka, and I am the mom of a 6 weeks old baby girl. She's my first child, so I'm very new to parenting. Basically, we were struggling with breastfeeding from day one. She was born via a planned C-section, which was although planned, but we had to decide like a few days before the C-section itself due to some conditions that were unexpected. And I was very much preparing for natural birth. So that was quite a big disappointment for me. And I am still processing that whole thing. And I think that actually really affected my breastfeeding journey. It felt like my milk is not really coming in. And then we followed a lot of advice from the hospital, from midwives, from lactation consultants. I really had no idea what to do. The only thing I felt is that I just felt like my child is starving, so I need to feed her somehow. So, following all of those advices, we gave her the bottle formula, and then she got nipple confusion very soon. And I also tried a nipple shield, basically everything that made it worse. And then we ended up not accepting my breasts at all. And obviously, because she was not sucking, my milk was not coming in. That was the point when we talked to you. And then I said, I felt I really need some help. And I felt that the biggest issue is that I am not really processing the birth itself. And I was under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure from myself.
Can you describe the state that you were in?
Desperate, helpless, and exhausted. Each feeding took at least 1.5 hours because I was trying to the breast. And then, of course, then we ended up giving her the bottle. But then I also tried to pump after every feeding session, which was at least half an hour pumping. And then obviously we had to like restart immediately. And there were all those cleaning, sterilization, bottle preparation, formula preparation, all of that. So it was literally like 24/7 work.
And what happened when we worked together?
It was really a big breakthrough, even just with one session. You were doing like a somatic therapy on me. And also you were showing me how to practice aware parenting with my baby. And I felt that it was literally a therapy for both of us. We both had a lot of crying, my baby and also myself. But then after all of this happened, you told me like, okay, now let's try to put her on the breast without the nipple shield, without all of the stuff that we've been doing. And then basically she just latched immediately. And then since then, it's been 2 weeks. She's latching perfectly. She's eating perfectly from my breast, no problem at all. It was like a miracle.
And I was so happy to see that. Seeing you both just release so much and her doing exactly what she's meant to do and not having any of the other gadgets and distractions. And after she had a beautiful release, it was easy and effortless, just natural as it was meant to be.
And since then, it is always effortless. I let all the stress go that before every breastfeeding session, I had this tension like building up. Okay, is it going to work this time? Is it not going to work? How is it going to go? How long it will take? Blah, blah, blah. And now I'm just like, yeah, it's feeding time. It's okay. And then it's easy. It's like super good. I think it was really great that I shared with you the whole birth story. You encouraged me to actually write it down in the questionnaire before our session. And when I was writing it, I realized it was really good to write it out. And then when I told you the whole story, it was really nice to let it out. It was difficult because I was in a lot of tears. But then with all those tears, I think a lot of tension went away. So that was really nice. And you helped me to scan my body, and we found a lot of tension around my breasts. And I told you that it felt like I have basically plugs in my nipples that don't let the milk to come out. We were focusing on those plugs with a gentle love and accept it. I think those plugs were released by me accepting them, being there, and also accepting the whole situation, trying to be more patient with myself and not trying to force. Since then, the milk is coming more easier. And now, if I'm just like, touch it a little bit, it's already like coming out. So that's
Mm.
such a good feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy to hear that.
Realizing that there are these plugs, that was, oh, wow. Probably I put those plugs in there with all the attention that I put on myself. That was an interesting point.
What happened after that? How are things going now?
Everything is going much better. She's feeding nicely from my breasts. It's effortless and it feels good. And also, I feel very good. Like it's a nice feeling to be able to feed my baby. I'm much more relaxed around this whole topic. Stopped doing all my research and all my insane read everything on the internet, read all the books and everything because I just said, okay, I just need to stop that because that builds up the tension. It's so good. I'm not really like focusing on looking at her stressful. Oh, is she eating? Is she not eating? What is going on? So it's really a relief since then. She's sleeping much better. So that's also great. And news for all all the family. I feel overall much better. And I also wanted to add, you had such a calming, beautiful aura or created a very calm environment for all of us, which made it feel really good. I was a really nice small bubble that we were in, like you and the baby and me, basically the three of us.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that was a very special time for me as well. And I think that was the first time you said before you weren't even really able to put her down because it wasn't easy to put her down to sleep or for naps.
It's much better. And there are some naps when we can put her down, and she has a 2 hours nap in her bassinet. So that's already progress because that never happened before.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so great. So, how has all this impacted your mental health, your sleep overall? How are you feeling?
I'm much more calm during the days and sleeping better because she's sleeping better. It's really good not to have all that anxiety before the feeding. Now I'm very confident that I can feed her from my breasts, and that's fine. I actually started to prioritize myself a little bit more than before. So right now I started to do a little bit of yoga. I'm like swimming in a swimming pool. I haven't done any of that before because it was just all about feeding and breastfeeding, and I have to solve this problem. And now because I'm more relaxed after the feedings, I just put her down or give her to her daddy, and then I just go and have a swim in the pool, and that feels so good and recharges me a lot.
What was the biggest wins or tangible results from our session together?
We haven't used the nipple shield since then. I don't even know where it is.
And how do you feel now in 3 to 4 words?
Confident, relaxed, in general, much happier.
And what was your favorite part about working together?
I love the whole session, even though we don't know each other. Even before, you were so supportive just via messages. And I really felt that you really want to help us and you have a beautiful energy. It's very good to be surrounded with your energy. I was a bit surprised, like how well you guided me through this whole somatic experience without actually knowing me and understanding what I might feel or what I might need. It felt like I knew you for a very long time, or you knew me for a very long time and really knew what to say.
What would you say to anyone who is considering working with me and maybe giving aware parenting or listening to their baby a try?
You are definitely a very good person to experience it with. And I'm pretty sure you would be able to help basically anyone because you're very good in sensing what the other people need. And I think that is necessary if we work on these levels. It's very good to be around you. You can calm people down. And I had a feeling that I can 100% trust you. And I think that's also very important. Having someone who you can trust, who you feel safe and calm around, that's what you need when you have some problems. I would 100% recommend you to people. I know it's difficult if we just search on the internet and we see a lot of therapists or read their websites. I think you would help anyone with these kind of problems. They need to open their hearts and they need to trust you because that's key to a session like this. I was a little bit skeptical, if I can be like really honest. But then I was at the point when I said, okay, I'm so deep. I'm in such a bad place. I'm open because I just need some help. And that's really good that I gave my trust to you actually to help us.
Well, I'm honored to be able to help. And what would you say to someone who's never thought about or considered getting support with their parenting because they think they just have to know and they should know and they should figure it out on their own.
You don't need to figure it out on your own. Having support is much better than trying to figure it out on your own. And you don't need to feel bad about getting help at all because it is difficult, especially if you're a new mom. And I can prove that you can't learn these things from books and courses. I am a person who bought all the books, all the courses, did everything while I was pregnant. And I said, I am super well prepared for this whole thing. I was not. I could not use almost anything that I've learned. You need to have help from people who've already been there, and especially from people who had a similar journey. And that's why I also felt we could connect very nicely, knowing that you had a very similar, very difficult journey with your child in the beginning. There's a lot of help out there. You just need to get it and don't feel bad about that.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story, sharing your experience. I wish you so much more joy and happiness with your breastfeeding journey because it's just such a beautiful thing to experience and a beautiful connection with your baby.
Thank you so much for your help.